he said we should do a fight here.
So it's happening. It's like actually 100% happening.
Absolutely happening.
How do you decide the headliner?
So, in a pleasant way, let battle commence.
If you want to set up an interview with me and ask me these questions, let's do it one-on-one.
Sounds
and
good.
you can ask me anything you want.
And I thought the exchange, and in particular Dana White's response, was very telling. Telling of what he hasn't been challenged with over the last few years.
The fighters are going to walk out of the Oval Office. Yeah. When they walk, they're walking from the Oval Office.
UFC President Dana White set the combat sports world buzzing after making stunning revelations on Logan Paul's podcast. On the podcast, Dana White also addressed the newly struck deal between the UFC and Paramount, making it clear he's thrilled about the partnership. White reflected on the company's early struggles, recalling the days when the UFC actually had to pay just to get airtime in television. Now, with Paramount on board, he emphasized how far the promotion has come, describing the deal as another major step in the UFC's global expansion.
So are you excited about the $7.7 billion deal with UFC and Paramount?
I'm definitely not bummed out about it.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Congratulations, man. It's gotta be cool building this company from what it was when it first started to inking a deal like that.
Yeah, I think, one of the things, when I think about it early on, when we paid to get onto Spike TV, basically the narrative was you paid to get on TV. You're never going to get paid to be on TV now was what everybody was telling us at the time, but obviously not the case.
Yeah. So wait, do you get all that money?
What?
The 7.7 billion.
Yeah, me. Do I get all the stuff?
Right in your checking?
I get all 7. It's all 7.7.
Building on that announcement, White went further into detail about the scope of the UFC-Paramount partnership, revealing an ambitious calendar for next year. According to the UFC boss, the deal will see the promotion deliver 44 fight nights and pay-per-view cards, alongside 12 Power Slap events and 14 Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu showcases. On top of that, White confirmed the launch of a brand new boxing venture, announcing that fans can expect 26 boxing events in 2025.
So are you excited about the $7.7 billion deal with UFC and Paramount?
I'm definitely not bummed out about it.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Congratulations, man. It's gotta be cool building this company from what it was when it first started to inking a deal like that.
Yeah, I think, one of the things, when I think about it early on, when we paid to get onto Spike TV, basically the narrative was you paid to get on TV. You're never going to get paid to be on TV now was what everybody was telling us at the time, but obviously not the case.
Yeah. So wait, do you get all that money?
What?
The 7.7 billion.
Yeah, me. Do I get all the stuff?
Right in your checking?
I get all 7. It's all 7.7.
Expanding on his boxing ambitions, Dana also revealed his plan to bring boxing back to traditional television, noting that currently almost everyone tunes in via DAZN. The UFC president emphasized that expanding the sport's reach beyond streaming platforms is a key part of the new deal, signaling a major push to make boxing more accessible to mainstream audiences.
If you look at what we're doing right now, so next year with the Paramount deal, we're going to do 44 events, fight nights between fight nights and numbered pay-per-view events. I'm going to do 12 Power Slap events next year. We're going to do 14 BJJ events, and then the new boxing deal I'm working on for 26.
Adding to that, Dana opened up about how much he has drawn from boxing while building the UFC from the ground up. He stated that he plans to apply the same strategies and lessons to his own boxing promotion, signaling that fans can expect the same level of growth and showmanship that has made the UFC a global powerhouse.
I took a lot of things from boxing that I loved and a lot of things from boxing that I hated when we built the UFC. And I'm going to do the same thing on the boxing side now. Boxing done the right way with the right guys. Think about, you guys are younger, but when I grew up, Hagler fought Hearns and Leonard fought Hagler and all those guys fought each other. It's the perfect time. You realize nobody has a television deal in boxing. There's some fights on DAZN, man. That's it.
What?
And I'll come in 26 with a TV deal. We'll put on great fights and we'll see what happens.
However, White didn't shy away from pointing out boxing's flaws. He explained that as the sport grew and money poured in, top fighters started avoiding each other. With 4 major sanctioning bodies, there are simply too many champions and none of them are willing to face each other. According to White, this is exactly when boxing began to fragment and lose its momentum.
Leonard fought Duran, and the list goes on and on and on. And then once there was so much money involved and it got so big, guys started ducking other guys. Then you got the sanctioning bodies in there. We think this guy's the champ. We think this guy's the champ. And then none of those guys would fight each other. That's when it all started to fall apart and break. So we felt amateur boxing, they had the box offs and it left, it was on like CBS or one of the big networks. And I saw amateur boxing starting to fall apart. You know, I said, these guys are in trouble. Boxing's in trouble.
Additionally, Dana White revealed that when he got the opportunity, Turki Al-Sheikh approached him to help promote the Canelo vs. Crawford fight. White said that he has been lucky to be involved in 2 of the 3 biggest fights in boxing. He also admitted that he was unsure how he could have turned down the chance to be part of it.
Well, it's not that this was the fight that I decided to do. This was the fight that I was offered, you know, by Sheikh Turki. He said, I put this fight together and I would love for you to be the promoter of it.
Yeah.
And who the hell would say no to this?
I can't, yeah.
You know
nobody,
what I mean?
Yeah.
You'd have to be mentally ill to not want
Right.
to promote this fight.
Right.
The biggest fight in boxing history was Mayweather versus Pacquiao.
Yes, sir.
Number 2 was Mayweather versus McGregor. Number 3 is Canelo versus Crawford. I've been a part of 2 of the top 3 biggest boxing matches in history. And the one thing, when he came to me and said, I want you to promote this fight, and I was just like, how the hell do I say no to this? You know.
Interestingly, Eddie Hearn said that he has a strong relationship with Dana White and described Dana as the greatest MMA promoter and arguably one of the greatest combat sport promoters of all time. Hearn added that he cannot be expected to avoid rolling up his sleeves and finding out who is the best in boxing because he believes in himself is the best in the sport.
Our relationship's good. Like, I've never had any kind of falling out with Dana. I can't stress enough the respect I have for him. I've done it on this show many times before. I feel like he is, you know, certainly the greatest MMA promoter and arguably one of the greatest combat sport promoters of all time. The business that they've built is absolutely incredible. The team of people they have there are first class. But you can't expect me, a guy who's extremely competitive, to not want to roll up my sleeves and see who is the best in boxing, because I believe I am the best in boxing. I mean, we're the only global promotional company in the world.
Looking ahead, Hearn said that we cannot wait for Dana to launch his boxing promotion. He added that he's excited to go head-to-head with him in the sport. Hearn emphasized that there will be no disrespect and that he will not slander Dana, but is looking forward to the challenges White is going to bring to boxing.
And I believe I'm head and shoulders above everybody as a promoter. Call that delusion, call that arrogance, or call that the truth. But that's what I truly believe. And, you know, I'm excited to cross swords with Dana. There'll never be any disrespect, if I'm honest. And I'm not, you're never going to see me slagging him off or talking down about him. I'm excited by the challenge because I think it's a real challenge. I don't expect Dana and TKO to come into boxing and just, you know, sit in a corner and you know, deliver some decent numbers for shareholders. I think they're going to want to have a presence and try and dominate the sport. It's the ego that they all...
Furthermore, Eddie said that the competition will be good for him in many ways, including personally. He added that it will boost his profile if it becomes Eddie versus Dana. Hearn also stated that a showdown between him and Dana is bound to happen if White truly has ambitions to dominate the sport. He believes that will ultimately be good for boxing and not bad for the sport at all.
Yeah, I think people like it, you know, and it's good for me in many ways. It's good for me personally to have that competition. It's good for my profile, I guess, if it's Eddie v Dana, and I'm more than happy for that strapline. But it probably will be. You know, if he really has ambitions to try and dominate the sport, it is going to be me and him duking it out. And I don't think that's bad for boxing, honestly. You know, and he probably believes that he can dominate boxing, dominate me, dominate everything. And I feel the same. So you've got 2 guys with a lot of ambition, with deep pockets and big egos. So, in a pleasant way, let battle commence.
On the other hand, a surprising revelation. Dana White confirmed that the UFC White House card is officially happening. White shared that former President Trump views the White House as public property, which is why he wanted a UFC fight card staged on the iconic lawns.
Like when he walked Bill Maher, and I've seen him walk many people through the White House, he's so proud of the White House and he loves it so much, and you know, he loves America. So he believes that the White House belongs to the people of America. And he wants to do more things like kids coming in at Easter, doing Easter egg hunts, and
awesome.
things around Christmas and special events. I guess Obama one time had Elton John play on the South Lawn. You know, they've done some stuff like that, but and I don't know if anybody was invited, but that's his thing. He wants to bring more Americans to the White House to experience the White House, and
so cool.
His thing is, this is your house.
In a jaw-dropping twist, White announced that the event will be live and completely free for the public. He added that the spectacle won't just attract American fans, but fans from around the world will tune in to witness it. And to top things off, the fighters are going to make their way towards the ring, exiting the Oval Office.
You know, the best card that we've ever built, that just make people go crazy. It'll be live and free on CBS
Free?
from the White House. Yeah.
Wow.
For the people.
Yeah.
This might be like one of the most viewed fights of all time then,
Yeah.
in that case.
I mean, even people in other countries will want to see. And the way that we're doing this thing, like the fighters are going to walk out of the Oval Office. Yeah. When they walk, they're walking from the Oval Office. Yeah,
Bro,
it's
for just American history, like
Of course, no announcement would be complete without mentioning Conor McGregor. Dana White revealed that Conor McGregor is making a comeback for the White House fight card and is officially in the pool of potential fighters. White said that McGregor has sent the UFC extensive footage of his training and is eager to compete in the historic event. He stated that he's unaware of where his election campaign stands as he prepares. But he pointed out the unofficial polling numbers stating that Conor may crush the elections.
Conor says he's coming back. He's in the pool. He's doing his thing. He's all kinds of footage of him training. You know, he wants to fight on this White House card. We'll see. I mean, we won't start building that card till February.
that's a big card.
And then when's the election?
Yeah.
The Irish presidential election.
That I don't know. That I don't know.
Because like which one is
But
he
what I do know,
which one is he more focused on?
all the polling is saying that he's going to win by a landslide.
No,
really?
Oh, hell yes. The polling's saying he's going to crush the election. So they're doing everything they can to try to keep him off the ballot.
Addressing the speculation surrounding the Orthodox presidential campaign by the Irish fighter, Chael Sonnen confirmed that Conor McGregor has officially withdrawn his rumored plans to run for president of Ireland. Sonnen criticized McGregor for never having an actual campaign in place and pointed out that you cannot suspend something that never existed.
Conor McGregor has withdrawn his pending plans to be the president of Ireland. Well, there's one problem with that, Conor. You were never running for president of Ireland. You did not suspend a campaign. I would love to help you with that. You don't have a campaign. You are not returning your raised fund and telling your supporters maybe next time. There are no raised funds. There weren't any supporters. You're not coming over to take those yard signs down. There were no signs in the yard. This wasn't real. It wasn't real.
Additionally, Dana White also addressed the much-anticipated Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall fight. He revealed that ever since announcing his retirement, Jones has expressed a strong desire to compete in the White House card. According to White, Jones has been sending him messages, even apologizing for previously pulling out of the Aspinall bout. However, White made it clear that for an event of this magnitude, he needs fighters he can fully rely on.
Retiring and then coming back has made it clear I want to do this, and you know, he sent me a text apologizing and all that stuff, but I need people that I can seriously rely on for this one. You know, and people talk shit about Conor. I'm telling you, I've been in the fucking trenches with Conor. Conor is a guy that has fought injured.
However, the spotlight wasn't only on future events, but also on some possible detrimental things that Dana is bringing to boxing. At the Canelo vs. Crawford press conference, Dana White refused to answer several serious questions about the changes he plans to make to the Muhammad Ali Reform Act, deflecting them and insisting that the press is not about him or his business.
So my question to you is, why then do you want to make sweeping changes to the Muhammad Ali Reform Act that is meant to protect fighters, to bring about a business model that currently has your company already paid out $375 million in antitrust lawsuits and has 2 potential pending class action lawsuits on the way as well?
Well, this is obviously a long discussion. If you want to talk to me about that, set up an interview. This isn't about me and my business. It's about these 2 guys on Saturday night.
However, what White didn't expect was that the journalists present weren't handpicked by the UFC.
My follow-up, Dana. Earlier this week, the California State Athletic Commission had a hearing about TKO trying to bring those changes to the Ali Act, and it was postponed 3 months.
Listen, I get it. You want to showboat right now. Set up an interview with me if this is really what you want to talk about.
It's America, baby.
If you have questions for these 2, ask them and you can set up an interview with me.
Dana, my follow-up is, if TKO can't make those changes to the Ali Act, will you still invest in the sport of boxing? Will you compete in the market?
Listen, if you want to be an asshole, let's do it in private and we can do an interview. If you want to showboat, I get it. If you have questions for these 2 that are fighting on Saturday, that's a different story.
Sean Zittel didn't hold back down and followed up with more questions, which got under Dana's skin and led him to cussing at Zittel.
At a press conference for these 2 that are going to fight on Saturday, 2 legends. If you want to set up an interview with me and ask me these questions, let's do it one-on-one.
Sounds
and
good.
You can ask me anything you want.
All right. Well, Terrence and Saul have a good fight.
Yeah, you have a question for these 2?
No.
No? Beat it. Go ahead, who's next?
In response, Ariel Helwani offered a different perspective, stating that UFC pay-per-view events have become hollow. He said that the UFC has done a great job of not being very welcoming to the media, and that the promotion tries hard to limit access for journalists who might ask difficult questions. Helwani added that for a long time, the UFC has not made it worthwhile for media members to attend.
Over in the world of UFC, they have done a great job of not being very welcoming to the media. And I'm not just talking about myself. Look at who's in attendance at these events. Look at the kind of questions that are being asked at these events. Are there good journalists? Yes. Do they ask good questions at times? Yes. But this ain't 2015-16 when the very best, who are still covering the sport, were going to almost every single pay-per-view, every big show. They have not made it worth everyone's while to go there. From the media days to the types of questions that are being welcomed at the press conference, to the lack of access to all these things. And so over time, these fight weeks have felt a little bit hollow.
Building on that, Ariel said that the boxing is more like the Wild West, where the same rules do not really apply, and that was on full display at the press conference. He noted that the exchange between Dana White and journalist Sean Zittel shows how rare it is for Dana to face these kind of questions, revealing a lot about how he views the media.
But you're lying to yourself if you're saying it was what it once was. It's not. Boxing is more of the Wild West. The same rules don't really apply. And that was on display at the press conference. And I thought the exchange, and in particular Dana White's response, was very telling. Telling of what he hasn't been challenged with over the last few years, and telling of the way in which he views media, which, by the way, isn't new, but is sort of a stance that we haven't heard from in a while. In case you don't know what I'm talking about, here's the clip.
In addition, Helwani pointed out that Dana White did not seem to expect the line of questioning. Helwani says that he sees nothing wrong with the questions themselves, but added that if Sean Zittel had not mentioned that they were in fact in America, and as per the First Amendment, it's his right to ask, it would not have felt like he was trying to create a viral moment. According to Ariel, Dana does not like it when he's challenged.
But up until this point, all the questions, in my opinion, accurate, fair, and timely. What more can you ask for? This is the fight week for the first show that he is promoting. The changes to the Ali Act, is a massive story heading into this new promotion, TKO Boxing, Zuffa Boxing. Where else but there? He is not always asked questions about the people up there or the fight that he is promoting. Go through the history of press conferences, and he will answer questions and very rarely have this stance unless they are critical questions, not positive questions, if you get what I'm saying, to the promotion.
However, Dana White has already commented in such a scenario and said that he is at a point in his career where only he wants to work with people who are in total alignment with him. He emphasized that he will only collaborate with those who are on the same page and share his vision.
For me, I'm at a point in my career and in my life, I've said this many times, like, I only want to do business with people that I'm aligned with, and you know, and to be able to be a part of building this fight, you know, building the undercard, and doing the production that I've always wanted to do in boxing. It's I'm pretty blessed to be sitting here talking to you guys about this fight. So,
and according to that, Dana stated that among the guys who have always had his back is Conor McGregor, and that is exactly why John Jones is under consideration. But Conor will definitely fight on the White House card.
You're a couple weeks out, and all the money's been spent, and all the marketing has been done. Who's gonna stay in there? And who's gonna stay in the fucking foxhole with me and fight this thing? And Conor McGregor has always been that guy, you know. And people like your brother.
Hence, Dana White's podcast revelations have shaken the combat sports once again. From the Paramount deal to a White House fight card and a bold move into boxing, he's pushing boundaries far beyond the octagon. Let us know what you think of Dana's revelations, comment your opinions below, and we will see you in the next video with more exciting updates. In the meantime, like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell icon so you never miss a beat.